What is up, guys? Coach Leo here. So recently I've just been browsing, some tier lists of some junglers. There's been a bunch of new junglers being released, and you may be asking, which junglers can I play until Emerald? Which is the best champion that's going to get me to Emerald to Diamond? Of course, the champion that I'm talking about, you can also play above that. But, let's just say I was taking a look. I go jungle, I sort by a tier list here. Maybe I just go to EU West or NA, and I go to silver, and I go to the win rate. And who is it that I see? It's Dr. Mundo. And so that got me kind of questioning, what's so good about Dr. Mundo? He's a tank, right? And so the reason why even if you look at all the ranks, right, guys, I go to gold, I go to win rate. Here he is still 53.54%. If I go to iron, here again, he's right here. If I go to bronze, he's right there. He's still there every single rank I sort through until about emerald. He starts to fall off a little bit. And so why is this, right? Why is Mundo, he's still here. He's still got a pretty good win rate. And so why is this? I mean, obviously Mundo right now is just quite strong, but also the fact that you can play quite a structured game as Mundo. He's not the biggest 1v9. You're gonna absolutely destroy the game like a Kindred would or something like that. He is just really, really consistent at fundamental jungling. This is just keeping good tempo, clearing it to an objective, doing the, especially dragon stacking he's really good at. So in this video, we're going to be actually going through a bit of a step-by-step, exactly how you can kind of play Mundo. And this is from, iron to emerald, of course. The reason why when you get to emerald and diamond and even master tier is that the game becomes a little more chaotic. Yeah, of course, there's some low-elo games that are chaotic, but you can generally stick to this in most games. Now, of course, League of Legends, it's not a game that is black or white, but what I have found is that, yeah, you can stick to a very, very structured style. So I'm just going to go through first 3 clears of what you're looking to expect when you play Mundo and some other things about the mid game and some other things about Mundo that you want to remember. Just before this video begins, I want to talk quickly about the Jungle Academy, guys. This is a program that if you are learning jungle or if you're looking to climb, I believe that this is one of the best resources on the internet for that. So just to highlight some of the things in the academy, we have all the champion guides, we have the fundamental videos, just a bunch of resources, as well as you'll have the Discord access where we're answering some of your questions, daily coaching sessions, bunch of challenger jungle coaches. You just sign up here, you enter the coaching room, we'll review your VODs, and really just overall a strong sense of community. We have over 1,000 members in the Discord, in the academy. And if you want to see proven results like everyone else in the academy, click the link in the description below. And yeah, happy jungle gapping. Okay, so in this first round, right, the first thing we want to do is 1 minute. Let's just say we're playing the blue side jungler here. We want to walk here. We want to try and get a ward on the enemy raptors at 1 minute. Okay, this is step 1. And this is so we can, track the enemy jungle, especially in low elo, guys. Enemy jungle is going to be making tempo mistakes all the time. And if you can download the enemy jungler's path, you can actually become Thanos on Mundo because he clears so fast. And then when you spike at 1 or 2 items, you play around objectives. The champion is so OP. You can poke around objectives around Otacon right now. It's so stupid the way objectives work right now. He's super, super good at that. This is also a reason why I think his winner is really good. So then the next thing after we get that ward, we're going to full clear the bot and play for bot crab. Bot vision, we're going to use some spare tempo. I like to call this spare tempo and regular tempo. I will explain during the game what that means a bit more. And then after that, we're just going to recall, right? We're going to buy, this is very important. We're going to buy pink and we're going to buy sweeper. And then we're going to be on tempo for this first spawning camp here, which is going to be our Gromp at 420. Of course, if you're on the other side of the map and you're pathing like this, is this going to be your Krugs at 420? So the entire game, we're just going to be keeping good tempo. Every time this first camp spawns and our next clear spawns, we're just going to be there. We're going to stay on tempo. That's what this means. Okay, so the second round, full clear the bot again. Okay, and we download the enemy jungler's clear. So in 2A here, if the enemy jungler is also pathing to top side, right? Or sorry, not also, but if he's pathing to top side and we're pathing down, this is going to open up the chance to do dragon, which is why we bought that pink and sweeper before. Okay, so if the enemy jungler is pathing to top, that's free Drake. We're just going to go for Drake. Obviously if the bot lane is gankable, that takes priority, but we're just going to look for the Drake then, if not. And then if the enemy jungler is pathing to bot, we're just going to use that spare time again to either play around the bot side of the map. We're just going to run in here. We're going to use our sweeper here. We're going to look to throw some cleavers here, gank bot, maybe place our pink ward on the Drake. And then again, we use up that spare time. We base here. When this is spawning, we're taking a look at it. We're straight back to that Gromp. So again, you can play a very, very structured style as Mundo, which is why, again, I think this champion is so, so good for learning jungle. It's so, so good in lower elos. You're going to stay really, really strong. And then when you spike 1 or 2 items, you're going to be Thanos. Okay. And then number 3 here, play for the second spawning crab. This is generally where this second crab is going to spawn. So either you'll use your spare tempo on the bot side here and then instantly either cross to the top crab or play for the bot crab. But around this time is when that crab will spawn. And so that's your next mini objective. It's that second spawning crab, right? So both crabs will be taken, the first one, And the next one is going to spawn here, kind of RNG. This will make more sense when you see the gameplay. So in the third round, so this is like after you base for the in your third clear. Again, we're going to clear the topside camps. We're going to play for grubs this case. So we're going to go 1, 2, and we're going to try and play for these grubs. Again, this is all the timers are going to pretty much match exactly. Yeah, Liga is not black or white. There's some nuance. Some things can happen. Some things are not going to be exactly on time. But again, this is just like a little bit of a cheat sheet that you can kind of, you know, adapt where necessary if that be the case. So here we're going to play for grubs. So if we can get all the grubs, we'll clear them instantly and then base for topside camp. So we'll go 1, 2, 3. We'll take them all. We'll base here. We'll go to our bot side. If we cannot contest grubs, we're going to be looking again. So maybe the enemy jungler is on the grubs here and we can't contest. We'll try and go 1, 2, and then 3 here onto the enemy bot side camps. And we'll try and trade the grubs for the bot side. Simple as that. We're either going to try and get the grubs if we can. If we can't, we'll skip these camps that are going to be up and we'll go and take his camps. But this is the general idea. Keeping good tempo, playing around the bot side, stacking dragons, contesting objectives when we can. We're going to be talking a little bit about match, trade, or minimize. So some fundamentals are going to be part of this as well. In the mid game, we're just going to maintain farming, playing for objectives. Again, like I said, 2 items, big power spike. Play with the cards we've been dealt. So a lot of times in low elo, as much as I'm, you know, coaching players, it's very, very easy to just get kind of tangled up in the low elo shenanigans. Oh, my team is flaming me. My team is, you know, or your team is just fighting like 2v5 somewhere, like super bad fights. You got to play with the cards you've been dealt. So if your team is inting, you can trade, you can take something else, you can keep farming, you can maintain your agency. So then when there actually is a winnable fight, you can make the difference. You can be the diff. You know, you're like, oh my goodness, who's this Mundo who just turned up at this fight? He's 2 levels up. He's an absolute demon. Okay, so that's about playing with the cards you've been dealt. Remember, guys, that he scales better than most tanks, but you are still a tank. So eventually in the game, when 80 carries start to get like 4 items and mages get like 4 items, eventually you will lose agency. Like you can't just completely 1v9 a fight. So eventually you will lose agency, which is really important, why you have to have very objective based mindset. Yeah, and use our early strength to ideally just stack dragons. Like I think in low elo, the most OP thing, as long as you know to make sure you do dragons not on vision, okay? So if you do Drake, if you're doing dragon and the enemy team has a ward on it, right? If you're just doing Drake here and you're seen by the enemy team, of course the enemy team will always collapse here first on you because your team just thinks it's all good. They just think, oh, I'm getting a Drake here. And also, you know, we're going to incorporate some pings as well to get our team on the same page. So let's now take a look at some runes and item builds. So for this, we're going to be going to the rank 1 Korean player. Of course, we're going to be taking a look at Natty Nat. We're just going to be copying what he does, okay? We're just going to copy the best player and see kind of what kind of builds he does in certain situations. And then we'll jump onto the Rift and I'll show you guys what this kind of step-by-step tutorial looks like when we play. Taking a look now at the man himself, Natty Nat. He is still rank 1 on the ladder. He is a Rengar OTP, but his Mundo is absolutely world class. So we're just going to be copying exactly what he does. The runes will never change. He does go QEQ, so 2 points Q in his first clear. I'll explain that as I'm clearing as well. You know, copy exactly what he uses here in terms of his runes. Yeah, it doesn't change. And in terms of his items, of course, you're always going to build Heart Steel first. In terms of which boots you go for, you're going to have Tabby option, Mercs option, and Swift March option. So, I mean, just build Tabbies if you're versing a bunch of 80 champs, Darius, Kindred, Draven, right? Fully like an AD team. Just go Steel Caps. Swiftness, go if you're not really sure which are better, or if you're versing a lot of slow. So in this game, he's versing like Orianna slow. He's versing like maybe a Ziggs Satchel slow or something like that. I'm not sure. Probably could have gone different boots in this game, but maybe he's just feeling it. Especially if you're really snowballing as well. Swifties is pretty good. And then go Mercs if the enemy has like a bunch of CC and a bunch of AP champs. So like Rammus, Ari, Aurora. In this game, you know, you can see super good Mercs team. So there's just a few examples here. We're always going to be building Heart Steel first. Your second item is, he generally just builds Spirit Visage second, like pretty much always. Obviously, it's really, really good pairing with your ultimate. And then his 3 and 4 is either Dead Man's, it's either Thorn Mail, or it is Unending Despair or Random. And so you kind of just have to build. So if you're versing a bunch of MR champs, maybe your 4-5 will be like Force of Nature instead of like this. But I think generally it's good to have a mix. So for example, in this game, he goes Heartsteel, he goes Mercs, because in this game, he's versing some AP champs, but also some AD champs. So as soon as he builds these two, and maybe like the Spirit Visage as well, then he builds into armor. And then after that, it just depends on, okay, well, who's strong on their team, right? If the enemy AD carry is really, really strong, for example, maybe in this game, the enemy AD carry is like really strong, or the enemy Yone, Randuin's is really good, Thornmail is really good. Kind of just have to build them situationally, right? But yeah, honestly, the thing that matters the most is your first 3 items. It's always going to be usually Heartsteel, Spirit Visage, and Deadman's, or if you need more MR instead of Deadman's, you go Force of Nature. Okay? Unending Despair is an option, so optional picks is like Unending Despair. Optional items are like Titanic if you want to play a little even more carry, right? If you want to play even more carry, I have seen him do Titanic in some games. For example, this game, right? This is like, you know, if you're like super fed and you have like spare gold, yeah, you can go Titanic as well. It's just going to be up to you at the end of the day. So let's jump into the game now and let's see exactly how to play Mundo, farm some LP, stick to some fundamentals, and have a good time. Alrighty guys, so loading into the game now. Unfortunately, you know, we didn't get the blue side, but on the red side, it's the exact same thing anyway. And, you know, we have our cheat sheet right here. And, you know, just to preface the video a little bit, guys, you know, obviously League of Legends is not, you know, you can't actually, you know, do this exact thing step by step. But for a general sense, obviously you're always going to be looking at the map, looking at information that you could potentially play off. But in a very general sense, you actually can kind of do the thing. So what's the very first thing? First round, number one. We want to get a ward on the enemy raptors at 1 minute. So this is really so we're able to track the enemy jungler. A really big part of playing Mundo is the fact that you have insane tempo. And if the enemy jungler ever does a mistake, by the way, when you do this, you kind of want to just walk in. You can throw some cleavers. Throw some cleavers. Okay, Nautilus is here. So in this case, this is interesting. I'm actually not going to be able to face check that. You got to be a little bit careful sometimes when you're going for the ward. And, you know, it obviously helps that you're playing Mundo and you can throw some cleavers. But in this case, I'll just run to the other side. And I'll throw a cleaver here. And I'll just ward his blue. Okay, so yeah, we didn't ward the enemy raptors, but we warded the enemy blue. The whole point is to just try and see where he's starting. And yeah, we're getting to the red a little bit late, but that's okay. So number 2 to do, full clear to bot, play for bot gank, play for bot crab, bot vision. Okay, this is the next thing that we're going to be trying to do here. So what you really want to do as Mundo as well is you really want to focus on his clear. And so this means that, you know, you want to try and pull the camps ahead. And I kind of into this, but I saved it. I pulled the Krongs a little bit too early, but it was saved. Game over nearly up, not following the blueprint already. Okay, don't reset your camps. You do want to clear fast, but I mean, you don't need to be setting any world records, okay? So clear as fast as you can. As you can see here, the blue buff is gone, right? So we now know that enemy jungle is starting on the top side. That's perfect. And here, as I said, you want to try and go 2 points. 2 points in Q. So we're getting a little bit, you know, we're getting low, but it's okay. By the end of the clear, we would have healed up. So yeah, we just keep clearing, making sure to throw the cleaver on the big one. Your team is going to start pinging you random stuff. Here, you want to just throw the next cleaver on the blue. And then finish off these small ones. They're pinging you, right? We're just going to do mute all. Now, regardless if this is a good play or not, right? You only ever want to skip camps if you think it's like a guaranteed kill. Okay, it needs to be guaranteed. So just, you know, we're just going to play mute all. It'll keep us locked in. Now we're going to finish this. We're going to ping on the way. So again, part of this, bot gank, bot crab, bot vision. One of these 3 options. I know that, I mean, generally when you play Mundo, right, your clear is really fast here. So I'll pop the pot now. I know that I'm way faster than the Wukong here. And this is the big thing about... Okay, he just hits that. Ooh. And we will just go for the kill here on him. At the end of the day, okay, I go for the bot gank. I probably end up dying here, which is fine. That's okay. I didn't have to flash in, but, you know, I think getting the first blood is okay. So we ask ourselves, what's next? We're going straight to the Krugs. We obviously know that the bot scuttle is gone. Wukong. We ping some flashes here. We ping Wukong used flash. And we're just going straight to the Krugs again. We're checking our weak side lane here. Now, the top grab is up. But in this case, we are going to have a look at top. Okay, Draven's going crazy. We land that cleaver. We know he has no flash. So we'll take him out. And again, we're just staying on tempo here. First spawning camp. And we repeat full clear. So something I messed up already here, which is fine. Because we did buy the pink ward. But in this second round, right? So we do this. We recall, we buy sweeper, and we be on tempo. And on tempo means, like I just said, being back at this first spawning camp. Okay? So we recall, we buy sweeper. I didn't buy sweeper, but we have a pink ward. In this next round, we're going to be checking. Ooh, okay. Wukong gives us some information here, guys. So this is where you have to go a little bit off script. Okay, when you see the Wukong go for this bot gank again, because we've downloaded his path, we know now that his top side camps are actually alive, okay? And I'm going to do something crazy here, right? Because I'm playing Mundo and I clear really, really quickly, I'm going to make sure to do his wolves first, then his gromp, then the scuttle. So I'm working from back to front here. Okay, so yeah, we're going to go off script, okay? But you just need to know when to go off script. We're going off script because he showed ganking bot. If he didn't show ganking bot, we would just clear down. So now we can take his top side camps. Boom, huge. We'll take the top crab too, and then we'll just clear down. And we have this ward here, and he's not showing here. Which is interesting. I would have expected him to show here, but it's fine. If not, if he's not showing, he may have ran like this way to wolves or something like that. And that is what downloading his path can do, right? We just got 2 free camps. You just need to really make sure that you're watching the minimap and you're watching what's happening. So now we're just going to have a really, really big lead here in the jungle. And this is a really big part of playing Mundo. You don't always want to, like, if you can win the bot 3v3, you don't always want to choose to trade. This is something I see a lot when I coach players. They always just choose to trade. You don't always want to trade. Okay, bot lane is fighting. Doesn't look like I can guarantee get a kill here. It does actually. I'm level 6 now as well. So I actually am choosing that I think I can guarantee get a kill here. And I can't. So misjudged it. Okay, Wukong shows top. Thought my team would definitely live a bit longer there. He does not. And so back to this again. So even though this game is like not exactly what we are seeing here, you know, if the enemy jungler is piling to bot, piling to top, you take Drake. If he's piling towards the bot side, which in this case he is, all we want to do here, we're going to do a little bit of an int check here. Because I think we can fight this. And we'll just run in here. We'll go for the Kai'Sa since she got exhausted. We'll throw the cleaver. Okay, of course, you gotta keep watching, right? And I'm really strong here, so I'm not afraid of anything. Interesting what's going to happen after this, right? What's going to happen after this is that we're just going to push the wave. Some of you may go Drake here, okay? But in this case, that would be wrong. You really want to just space here. Spend this gold, right? We're really, really strong here. And again, when these top side camps spawn, when my Gromp and my red is up, generally, you want to go and take it. So this case, we'll switch to the sweeper now. And again, same thing here. We'll just be clearing to bot. Now, this is actually third clear now. And see, it still kind of lines up. So we're going to clear top side camps and play for grubs. If it looks good, or even if we can get 1. So we're going to play for grubs here. If it looks good, we'll take all 3. If we can only get 1, we'll take 1. If we can't get all 3 here, if we cannot contest grubs, look to trade enemy bot side camps. So we're either going to try and take them, or we're going to contest bot side camps. So I'm actually going to choose to do my... Oh, was that gone, or was that... Okay, I don't know. What happened? Did I miss? Okay, it's fine. In this case, because, you know, the grubs already spawned, like generally you would have cleared the top side camps and you would be doing this. This game's a little bit different. When you do take grubs, make sure you pull them out. Make sure you drop like some vision here like this. Okay, and I'm kind of expecting Wukong to be on top side here, to be honest. I'm not 100% sure where he is, of course. Okay, he's actually bot side. And we see mid fighting, so we're going to ping on the way. We're going to see if there's anything happening here. We're going to get into this bush, because this guy might walk in. Just like that, we slow. Huge. And we instantly go back to where are we going to go, guys? We saw he came from bot side, so what does that mean? What does that mean? Right, this is what I mean by if you download the enemy jungler's path, or when you make that, you know, conclusion, you got to go and punish. Okay, so we're going off script here, but that's fine. That's fine. I'm going to let you guys know that this script does actually work just in this game. Something's happening. And this is really, really important that you know, like, you know, fundamentals, right? Fundamentals won't win you the game. Fundamentals just put you in a position to win you the game. So like fundamentally, if I track the Wukong, it doesn't make me win the game. What makes me win the game is taking his top side because I've tracked it. So you still have to make impactful plays. Now here I'm just going to go back for the last grub, and it's another interesting situation, right? Like, should I do my top side camps here, or should I cross to my bot side? So let me ask you guys, which camps, as we can see, a little spoiler alert, we're going to cross. Ooh. This is how quickly the game can change, guys. You see that? As soon as I see Draven start fighting, and he uses his flash, we're going to change our mind here and just go for Draven instead. Okay? And then immediately here, we're just going to press B. We're going to just backping this guy from the Silas. If Silas loses his mind here, I will stay. If not, I will just base. Okay. And in this game, we're definitely going to be building tabbies. And we're going to be building deadmans. So we'll just buy up the best we can here. We'll buy a pink ward. Okay, so the Wukong already took the Drake. But there's nothing else to do here. So which side do you want to which side do you want to start? Do you want to start your Krugs? Or do you want to start your bot side? Since my bot side camps are not under threat anymore of Wukong, I'm going to go to my top side camps first. And I'm just going to full clear down. I guess I'm kind of glad, honestly, that we went off script here. I am kind of glad because I know a lot of games do go off script. And what's most important, guys, is that you just play off the information. Okay, it did change very, very quickly here. I was thinking about crossing to the bot side and fighting the Drake. However, I see Draven playing like an absolute psychopath. You got to make sure you pay attention to that. Okay, so now the game is like, you know, we're kind of, you know, it's still early game. You would just continue to do this idea of full clearing the bot using spare time to gank clear vision. Okay, so that's what we're kind of up to now. We're clearing to bot. If there is a free kill, we'll skip camps. If there is not a free kill or a free play or something that we deem is really, really high percentage, we would just clear camps. And I'm telling you guys, when you play like this, you are going to be the strongest character in the game. If you just clear camps and react off information. So for example, information here. My Teemo is getting dove. So should I do my Gromp or should I come here? I should come here, right? Because he's getting dove and we can make a play. We'll use our flash cleaver here because we have a lot of room to chase this guy down. All right, we just keep chasing down. Looks good. I think he still has flash, so got to make sure to pile ahead of him. Top lane that again. I have no information on Wukong here. So no, I don't want to run into his jungle in this case. Okay, I just want to take this crap. We'll see what happens. Maybe I can take like a mid wave because no one is mid right now, right? My Zac is here. So I'm just going to pick up an extra kind of gold or income here. Maybe I can even get just a stack on my Heartsteel. That would be nice. Thank you very much. Honestly, I think I can just win this now. He did steal my ult, which is a bit unfortunate. Good flash from him. And that's it. Okay, I think we can fight though. Okay, we get an ult. Small win. That's nice. Now guys, in this situation, ready? Look, 30 seconds on my Crocs. So we do have time to take one more camp. So we take one more camp and then we'll recall for our topside camps. If my topside camps were already spawned here, guys, I would just reset. I wouldn't bother taking this extra Gromp, but I'm trying to squeeze as much time as possible, right? I don't want to recall and then just be waiting for my topside to spawn. I want to get there not too early, but not too late. That's the kind of idea. All right. Buy up. Quickly run to the top side again. Same game plan. We're going to be full clearing top to bot. And we're playing for the Drake. And we're playing for the bot side skirmish again. Rinse and repeat. This is why I suspect Mundo's win rate can be so good. Because he's a great, consistent, full clear jungler that has insane tempo. And that can impact fights and snowball even though he's a tank. So you see here, right? You see, like, things are happening, right? Some things are happening here, some things are happening here. Again, if I don't deem it to be a 100% play, I won't go for it. Now, I'm watching top lane fight here, right? Since I'm watching them fight, I'm going to start going over here. I'm going to quickly E this. And because I'm watching them fight, I now deem this a 100% kill. So I'm skipping my Raptors in this case just because top lane started fighting. Right, I'll leave the wave here because this wave is really good for my top laner. This wave will just kind of freeze here until he gets back. Wukong is now showing going to the bot side. So this is a situation, right? Should I counter jungle him or should I match him on bot side? Okay, in this case, I'm not going to go and take his blue because I want to out impact bot side. Okay, I want to be involved in this bot 3v3. I want to be involved in this fight here. Now, obviously it kind of sucks that my Zac is already dead. This kind of sucks, right? This is going to happen though. And so in this case, I'll just go back to my wolves and it is what it is. Now I'm looking at, are they going to dive my Teemo? So this is what I like to call an int check. Like, are they going to int and dive Teemo? It doesn't look like it here. It doesn't look like there's anything to do bot side here. So again, I'm just crossing to the top side because the top crab is spawning. I'm just looking for something to farm. Now, I think I actually can kill this guy. If I play well, maybe I don't have enough damage. Let's see. Okay, I can't kill him. That's okay though. Again, I'll leave the wave. And what's the next objective spawning, guys? It is the Rift Herald. And the Drake, actually. There's two here that's spawning. Which one am I going to prioritize? I'm going to prioritize the Drake. So I'm just going to instantly cross here. I'm going to ping my team. I'm going to say, hey, let's go and let's go take this. This is second Drake. So second Drake is very, very squishy. Usually you can just one-shot it. And it's not as risky as the first Drake. As you can see, it's dying very, very quickly because the health is very similar to the first dragon, except now we have items. I have smite in 6 seconds. So, okay, cool. That's good. Now I have item in base. My Gromp is up as well. I'm going to take the Gromp. I'm greedy on this champ, and so should you guys be. Right, the Rift Herald is not like 100% certainty that we can take it. Now, if the whole enemy team was dead there, maybe I would go and take it. And I like how this game is a bit closer, right? Like, the enemy bot lane is winning. You know, the enemy top lane is winning. It's a pretty good, okay, don't buy too many pinks either. Don't buy too many pinks. So, okay, same thing here. Okay, we are entering the mid game though. Maintain farming, playing for objectives. Play with the cards have been dealt. So the cards have been dealt. What I mean by that is like, my Teemo's dying mid. So this guy's just alone, so we're going to go for this guy. Really remember, right? Okay, he uses flash. That's it. Small win. We take that. We take those. Playing with the cards have been dealt here is the fact that they're winning mid and bot push. And this Rift Herald is most likely theirs, okay? Because my Teemo died. And my team is coming out of base here. Okay, we're seeing what's happening here. Okay, they're all going mid. My Mel is going there as well. Let's see. Okay, it doesn't look like anything. So we'll just keep clearing. Maintain your composure, guys. Maintain your composure. Now, should we do the Rift Herald here? No. We shouldn't, because our Zac died. This is literally playing with the cards you've been dealt. This would have been a pretty good game to go Titanic, because I feel like I'm going to need to carry this game. But let's see. Are they on the Rift? They're not on the Rift. If they were on the Rift, I would look to trade. However, the Wukong shows top here. Immediately, we look to go and take his bot side camps. We can't match this currently, so we need to trade. Again, especially low elo, guys. Even in high elo, honestly. The enemies... Okay, the enemy jungler in particular, will do these kinds of things all the time. Okay, mid's fighting, immediately respond to this. It doesn't look amazing. So we're just gonna pop ult and try and run. Yeah, bad play. Didn't actually see Silas, which is fine. This is just gonna be a downtime angle where we're just gonna farm some camps. Do we need to base? No, we don't. So we're just gonna farm the Scuttle. We're gonna farm the blue. Look, I'm suspecting my Jax is eventually gonna win this top lane situation. But maybe not yet. Okay, Nautilus didn't walk in. We're back to farming. We're back to just farming. We're playing for the next objective, which is going to be... It is still the Rift Herald. Okay, nice. My Jax won. Cool. We're farming here. We're just kind of playing it by ear, right? We're just seeing what's the enemy gonna do. I still don't need to base here, so I'm gonna stay on the map. Oh, they were on it. Oh, I didn't even notice. That's fine. Okay, my whole team is topside here, so I actually think we can invade here. And the Wukong's walking into me, so I'm getting ready to throw a cleaver at him. I hit him with the cleaver. We smite him. Okay, looks like party time. Looks like it's time to good fight. Looks like a good fight. So we're gonna get involved. Nice. As soon as the enemy jungle dies, guys, what can I take? This is how, again, you can punish the enemy jungle. You see, all game, I'm just punishing the enemy jungler. You know, because he chose to do the Rift. He didn't choose to do his top camps. Make sure when you kill him that you don't just go back to your camps here, okay? It's one of the biggest mistakes I see players make. They just go back to their own camps. Okay, we actually don't really want to... Like, our team is basing now, okay? So in this situation, like, look at my Zac, right? We've already done everything. We can't actually take more here. This is the time you want to base. This is not the time where you want to try and make an extra play here. It is very important that you get your base off here. Now, do I actually build Spirit Visage here? I think I still do. I think it's that much of a, you know, a Mundo item where you need to build it. So look at the state of the game right now. Okay, my Mel's basing. So when your team bases like this, you see this? Don't run into the enemy jungle. This is time for you to farm your camps. This is called downtime. This is time for you to farm your own camps. Okay, Mel's now TPing. So it changes just like that. Now we want to think about protecting waves. The next objective that's spawning is Artican. So I'm going to do one more sneaky wave because I'm greedy and because I can. But as you can see, the fight is beginning. So I must run here because I'm strong and I want to fight because I can be the diff. So too many times, you know, you're just full clearing your camps here. You need to try and get involved. We're trying to get vision here. On the bot side, we're trying to play for camps. We're trying to clear vision. We're also trying to protect waves. So if they show on the mid wave or the bot wave, right, you can see this. Okay, something's going on. Teemo's putting an absolute work in. This is also Mundo moment too, where you want to start throwing cleavers. Play very, very slowly. Looks kind of good, but we can still play slowly. And still, play slowly here. Right? Play slowly. Play slowly. They're going to go on you here, which is fine. Because you're Mundo. Got a kite. Kite. I'm alive. Okay, still you got to play slow as Mundo. Alright, huge. Now we get the objectives. Instantly ping the objectives. Objective-based play, okay? Right here, guys. Maintain farming, play for objectives. This is also about knowing about uptime, downtime. Uptime is when you're doing plays like this. You're looking for enemy camps. You're looking for the scuttle. You're looking to get vision. And then downtime is where you farm your camps. Downtime is when your team is not ready to play. Your team is dead. Your team is basing. Something like that. Alright, huge. Oh my goodness, I have no smite. Wow. Okay, so what are we going to do here? We're going to farm camps. We're going to base. We're going to base because, right? Because we have an item. If you don't have an item here, full clear your camps. This is also time for you to farm. When your team is here, look at my team here in base. That's time for you to farm. But since I had an item, I choose that time where I could farm these camps on buying an item. Now, you see how Teemo is late here? You see how this guy's late here? This is not the same situation as before where we want to just run straight into the enemy jungle again. This is time for you to farm. So there is time for you to farm. You just need to know when to farm. You need to know when to carry and get involved, and you need to know when to farm. You need to know when your team dies, not to contest objectives, right, in a silly way or fight with down numbers. And one of the biggest mistakes I see low elo players make, even high elo again, is that they just take fights 3v4, like when you're down numbers. You don't do that. Okay, look here. Look here. Protecting waves. I'm going to skip my raptors in this case. And I'm going to ping. Go. If I land the cleaver here, he can die. Yep, he can die. Okay, my team is... Okay, we play slow here. We got to make sure we watch the sides here as well. Okay, since no one is showing top lane. Okay, I'm still down to like play slow here because my whole team is here. So I'm going to keep pinging like, yo, guys, we can fight if you guys want. Again, I'm just playing around my team. Okay, we'll take the freebie on this guy while we throw a cleaver this way. Okay, next objective is top tier 2 tower, guys. So let's go for the top tier 2. Again, you see here, I'm just running in, throwing a cleaver, and pinging the tower. Now, if this guy stays here, we're going to die. He might be tanky, but I'm tankier. Well, he's tanky because he took me out. He's not tanky in general. Okay, enemy team's dead. Can we take this next tower? I would prefer here to push the mid wave, or to get the mid wave, and to get a bot side camps. So, even though the enemy team, this is a bit of a judgment call. I just think in general, you want to play the game like a campaign. So like the next objective is the bot tier 2. The next objective is the Baron buff. The next objective is the dragon. So, but again, my team's basing here. Look, team's basing. So don't overstay here. Don't stay here because the enemy team's going to spawn, but your team's going to be in base. So you're going to waste time here. So I'm going to base. I'm going to backping this guy. Base, backping, thorn mail. I'm about to be unkillable. Okay, straight again. You ask yourself this question every time you run out of base. Uptime, downtime. My team is all running out of base here. You guys see that, right? Everyone's running out of base here. So guess what? We're just going to go and like fight. My Jax says TP. So I'm going to ping the TP here. Okay. They're not contesting the wave. So then they're not here. My Mel actually got the bot tower. Wow, that's insane. And now we're thinking about protecting waves. What waves are we protecting? We're protecting this wave. And we're protecting this wave. Okay, so we're just running into the jungle here. We're getting vision. Unfortunately, my Mel did not push this. You gotta go do it yourself. I mean, this is what I mean. I mean, this is like a plat emerald game. So even in this elo, and in your elo probably as well, people are not gonna push waves. So this is what you can do if this ever happens. And then you're looking to farm camps. And then you're looking to protect this wave again. So next waves are spawning. We're looking to protect the next waves. Look, raptor spawns. There's nothing to really play for here. And this is like where most people just, you know, like throw. Because we can't actually... It's very hard to kill the inner towers. Baron is spawning in 20. So you can just maintain farming here. Maintain farming. Yep, this is gone. Can I still kill Silas? Let's see. Activate the sweeper here. It looks like he's backing off, so it's going to be hard to kill. So we just turn around. Again, guys, even if your team dies, as long as you maintain strength, you will carry. It doesn't matter. Okay, in this situation, again, you can see this. You can see how the game's flowing. You can see when I'm basing the timers. It's really, really important. This is a really good game of just a really good example of like mid game. Really, really good example of mid game. Yeah, I mean, even though we couldn't stick to this in the early game, it's a good example. So what are we playing for next here? Dragon, Baron. In terms of which one you'd rather prioritize, you just prioritize the drag. It's just easier. It's less throw prone. And again, I'm just on camps here because guess what? I'm waiting for my team to play uptime. This guy, I'm waiting for this guy. When this guy, this wave, this is literally what I'm waiting for here. So I'll just keep farming until that happens. Now, you know, we're kind of like synced up here and I'm going to ping on the way. And I'm going to ping in, we want to go in here. I'm going to ping my team to this mid wave. I'm going to say, hey, let's fight here. If they walk in here, let's fight. So I'm not actually the one on the wave here. Okay, look, the enemy not contesting. So we'll just take the free objective. You got to know when to not just run it down, like run it down here. Even though I'm very, very strong, take the free objective. If they contest, you fight. If they don't contest, you take the objective. That's the whole point. Now I'm going to ping Baron. Yeah, I'm still like, you know, playing it by ear. If this guy's caught, we can go on him. Oh, this guy's going very wide. Oh my goodness, what was that cleaver? Okay, this is all because we also understand uptime, downtime. If I land the cleaver here, we can dive. I'll just use flash. Look at Thanos go. Okay, so yeah, we want to ping the Baron there, but you know, if your team finds something, keep your eyes open. Okay, jungling is all about kind of having this default plan. Yeah, I'm going to try and get my team to look I'm pinging. So we're going to ping the right play, but then we're going to adapt to what our team does. If our team like is with us here and they're going to do the Baron, we'll do the Baron. If your team does their random thing here, one guy goes and pushes here, one guy goes and bases here. If they're all doing their own thing, I would have just farmed at his top side and not done Baron. But since my team, and because I'm using some good pings, and usually when you are 10-1 in the game, generally your team will listen to you. Okay, I don't have smite here, so hopefully the Wukong is not. Okay, we shouldn't go here. Look, I'm just gonna back ping. This is the territory where you can throw. No, I'm just gonna back. You can see it, right? You can see it. You can see throw zone. So I'm just gonna base. I do need to. This is like, you know, it's a little bit of a base I don't really want to do. Okay, Kaiser's going AP, right? Okay, she's going AP. So maybe I should have built. Well, I mean, randoms are still really good this game. Teemo died. Okay, so even though we have Baron, I would really like to use this Baron to push. But, unfortunately, we can't. Because Teemo died. So, hopefully, my team just doesn't keep doing the same mistake. Guys, just take a look at the CS, right? I'm playing a tank. And I'm staying, like, high CS in the game. Look at Wukong CS. Guys, not trying to flame this guy or anything, right? But this is what happens when you go for too many random plays. Okay, this Wukong did too much random stuff, and I just punished him for it because I had his path downloaded. He showed bot. I say, what can I take? He dies. I ask, what can I take? There's a fight here. My Teemo is here now, so let's go. Okay, I still think we can win this fight. We just need to have some good target selection. We'll pop the ult now. Give me more stacks. Give me more stacks. Okay, push top. Next objective right here. And again, if your team's not going to push, if they're just going to ARAM, you can be the one to push. The goal here with Baron, generally, is trying to get 3 inhibs. Okay, that's the goal. You can close the game out like a campaign game. I promise you guys. Okay, we can hit towers here, though. Sometimes you can, you know, skip the second last mission and go to straight to the last one. And, yeah, I mean, that's going to wrap it up. Thanos Mundo. This is why this champion's win rate is so high. Guys, keep good tempo. Play with the cards you've been dealt. All right, choose the good fights. Stay away from the bad fights when your team is inting. Uptime, downtime in the mid game. Yeah, we didn't really exactly, but you know, you guys can read this. I'll probably post this in the YouTube comments. You definitely can stick to this in most games. But of course, League is not black or white. You got to adapt to the situations. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys like this kind of style, if you guys were able to learn something from it, leave a comment below. Consider dropping a sub, dropping a like, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.